Can I mark in here in pencil?
Yeah.
And you're recording, right?
Yes.
Good.
So I'm gonna pick up the measure 66.
Well, that was way more than 3.
I played on rhythm.
Okay, because I was counting. I was like 1, 2, 3.
Landing.
No, okay, it's twice as fast.
Wait. Well, how did we play? 1, 2,
3,
yeah.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Everything was good up until that point. Can you guys play from 77? You have a high G. Yeah. Keep going from there. So you see where that is?
Yeah.
Good. Why don't you go back to 151 where your triplets start? Can you start there? Yeah. Bum, bum.
We had agreed on a slowdown and a breath there.
How much of a slowdown? Can you play it for Mari? Just play how you want.
Oh my, what am I doing?
Too many of the repeat. That's too much. So what you could do. Bum bum biga daga daga dum biga, like you can't in the room. You can't change the tempo completely for like a beat and then go back, but you can have a little bit of a lift. Okay? So where is it you want the breath? We talked about this breath, right?
Yes.
Where do you want it to be slower, and where can you be okay, I'm back in tempo?
I just wanted like a little bit of a pause on the second high G.
Yeah, but then the E needs to be in time. Bum bum be da 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 da, because that's the leading tone to F. You're playing bum bum. Yeah, so you can't. Yeah, da 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 da, be da, and then you're back in tempo. Yeah, da bum bum. Bum bum be da 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 da, be da 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 da. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you have just the lift, but then the E, like your odd tempo is right on that E natural. Tempo.
Okay.
Make sense? Try that from the beginning of those triplets. From 151. So then, Mari, can you wait for the pickup to... Yeah.
Okay.
So there's like a stop there.
Hey, come on.
I keep messing the notes up.
Okay, can you play it once without the break? Just play it in time. Yada da da bum bum be da 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 dum. So you don't want to do it like that.
I mean, I can try. I just need to take a breath.
You can take a breath right after the quarter note.
Yeah, I'll just.
I know, we talked
I'll
about
figure
this
it out.
breath for a long time. The thing is, it has to feel like what you just did, but as if you just put a little breath, but it's still as together and as, like, continuous as what you just played. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So now try it with the breath, but make it feel the way you just did it. Yeah, so
Okay.
cue her. She needs to know where that pick up to 1 is.
All right.
150. You just need to practice that. Okay, do 151 again. If you're going to do that much of a space, can you make the top G a little longer and give it a nice ending? Da, da, da. Yeah.
Okay.
Ba. Boom, boom. Be, da, 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 da.
Okay.
What?
My note didn't come out.
Christian, what about this? Ba, da, 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 da 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 da. Bum bum be da 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 da. You have to play two of them. Da 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 ba. Bum bum be da da.
That slow?
Is that what you want? That makes sense.
Yeah,
That makes sense to me. Now it feels organic.
Okay.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Let's
It
do
flows.
151. Keep going.
Ah! I don't know why it is, but I just
You
keep
cued her.
forgetting.
You cued her great. You just didn't play. She knew exactly where to put the E.
Okay, one more
It
time.
made sense to me.
I mean, you don't need to look at me. Because on the performance, you
Yeah,
cannot
you're-
look at me like this, right?
That's
So just
true.
breathe.
But if you breathe, she'll know where. If you go
Yeah.
bum bum, she'll know exactly where to play.
Okay.
And I'm gonna jump right now to the before H.
It's really sharp. See if you can get it a little bit. I think your reed is sharp. I think it's
You
too
are
short.
sharp too.
So we need to. We'll fix the reed later. Just be aware that everything is really high. Okay. Go from that F 198. Good. You have to keep your tempo because she's playing duples. So you have to think. Yeah. And then. Whoa! It's okay. And it's sharp. Oh, I think it's just, and the tone sounds sharp to me. The tone is kind of like small and it's better. Yeah. So that's one of the vocals, right? Is that the light singer?
No.
Is it? It's the fox? Is it a one?
2.
What do you normally play on?
So it's in my room.
Is it a fox?
Yes.
Is it a 2?
I think it's a 3.
That might be why you're sharp.
Yeah.
So you might need a longer reed to play on a vocal like that. So something that so it's not maybe just you, it's also the vocal is making you sharper. So in this section, you notice that her accompaniment is really just quarter notes when you have yada da 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 da. So if you need a minute, like in this period, performers would not play necessarily like yada da 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 da. You know, like they would do yada da 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 da. You know, like they would do little things, and the accompaniment can follow them very easily because it's super simple, right? So I'm not saying like go crazy, but I'm saying that if you start to feel behind, put some tenutos in on important notes and you'll ground yourself. Okay? So for example, and if you listen to a recording and you really listen to what they're doing, you'll notice that they're doing it too. Where were we, Jay? So like when you have the C sharp, lean into it a little bit. Like when you have these chromatic notes, they're more interesting. They're lower neighbor, they're accented chromatic lower neighbors. Something that we talked about in theory class. This is why that's important, because they're really interesting. Okay? That's what the note that you're actually going to, like it's like B flat, D, F, B flat, D, F. Literally it's a B flat triad that he has ornamented with all these little neighbor figures. Okay? Can you play from J again and think about that? Like B flat, you play it twice. D, you play it twice. Those are the important notes, but these are the interesting notes. Okay? So it's not just a run. It's well crafted. Okay? Go from J. Good. That's better. So maybe that was a bit much, like too many tenutos, but you can kind of think like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, like kind of build it. We'll work on that. But do you see how you can really do what you want and she will know exactly what to do? Because she's just going boom, chunk, boom, chunk. Okay, we're going to work backwards. So this section here, the phrasing, like in this, the phrasing is kind of like, half notes, right? Here it's like by the bar. Yeah? And so you really have to carry the line through these long notes. Can you start here, 198 again, and really feel, let's see, like this is going all the way to here, this phrase. So you really have to carry it all the way. It resolves there. And then once it resolves, you have this. So you can't taper that. You have to think of this as going, ba, ba-dee, da, 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 because the tension of the F sharp is not a tapering note. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, from here, from 198.
188, 98.
98. Yeah.
Is that good?
It's still sharp. It's better, but it's gonna be a struggle with that reading that vocal.
Okay.
Just do your best and keep playing.
Okay. Oh!
And this is a super
I'm sorry,
expressive.
I went back to the tenor clef part.
But weren't you playing an F?
Yeah, but I read it as if it was the same as
Right,
the
you
other.
read it as a B flat. This is a minor seventh. Super expressive. So do something with it. Make it interesting.
No!
Not slurring into it. So yeah. So the F feels like resting, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And then guess what this is?
An E flat.
It's a suspension.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Do something. Go from the F.
Okay. Should I do should I tongue it? Or should I do
Yes,
a breath
you should.
attack?
The E flat?
Yes.
Do you have time after playing the F to do a breath attack on the E flat? That doesn't. I want more clarity on the E flat.
Okay.
Give it a little more
Okay.
time. Yeah. That's the idea. So going backwards, let's go back. A lot of this is very similar, so you have to find ways to make it more exciting, you know, like coming up with characters and stuff. Mari, is your clock correct? Or is it
no, 5
minutes
minutes
fast?
ahead.
Okay.
So.
Can we go back to, where do you have a lot of tonguing? Like after F?
Yeah, F and D.
Okay, so let's go from F. Think of your air driving your tongue and not the other way around, and see if you can make your tongue sound lighter. So your tongue is barely moving. It's just like, like, can you say that? Can you say Yeah. Your tongue should not move more than that. So if it's moving more than that, it's going to sound labored. Yeah. And with lots of air, and if your fingers are with your tongue, it should sound nice and easy. So go right from F. Okay. How did that feel? I know sometimes the tongue and the fingers are not totally together, but do you see how it's a easier sounding articulation?
Yes.
And it's lighter. If you get a read with a little more response, then it'll become crisper. That read sounds like it doesn't respond right when you want it to. Would you agree?
Somewhat, yeah.
Like you tongue a note and sometimes it takes a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So if you get, for a piece like this with a lot of articulation, you're going to want a little more immediacy. Okay? Good. Let's do, we have like 2 minutes. Where's a lyrical spot?
112.
Good. 112.
Or do you want to start at 110?
You want me to?
110.
Really listen for pitch. Thinking two. Good. Okay, good. So, do you notice the difference when you think in two?
Yes.
Or you do, yeah, it makes a longer line, right? And so you're not giving like beats 2 and 4 as much. Now your shapes just need to be like,
More.
where was that? You start here? Yeah, you didn't even have them written in. And I recognize the penmanship.
Alright, do you want to do it one more time?
One more time, be extreme.
Okay. I'll try to like overdo it.
Overdo it.
Well, before.
Good. Go more extreme. Try and make a big shape with this one. Actually, we probably have to stop. But do you get that was not too much. I actually want more.
Okay.
I don't know. This reed doesn't have a super big dynamic range, right?
No.
So when we get you something that can play louder and softer, you're good on your softs, but something that can play louder. Okay? Good. Keep practicing. Let's go do the rest of your lesson.